We're live. All right, good evening. Welcome to the December 26th meeting of the Weare Board of Selectmen. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Public comment.
Thank you, Frank Campana. Two things. I'll take the easiest one first. I asked somebody Monday, I think, in town office, regards to the default budget, when it might appear. And I was told probably not until the 14th of January, which is your public hearing. And I first found out about it, I was talking to someone on the Finance Committee, and I asked if they had received a default budget. And they said no, they hadn't. So that's what prompted me the question to the person. So,
I understand, that was done way before the other budgets were. We did do the default budget first.
right.
And everybody got a copy.
Right, and I did. That was back, I think it was October, I
And
believe.
that hasn't changed.
It wouldn't have changed with insurances or fuel adjustments, if you decided to do fuel adjustments, or,
Last year's budget is last year's budget.
really?
I mean,
Okay,
it hasn't changed.
okay.
Is that correct, Jeff? Hasn't changed?
Yeah.
And,
Something else to do.
okay. Well, I'll have to look at that again.
Okay.
But my comment was to follow that last year, there was a handout to you folks on January 2nd of a default budget, comparing the default budget to the proposed, to last year's budget, and done in, the typical way, increases and decreases. So I'll look at that again. If you're telling me it hasn't changed, okay. So my other issue is a result of your last meeting. I think it was the last meeting. I wasn't here, but as I scroll through Channel 6 at times during your meetings, I caught the issue of the little more sensitive of the subject, I guess, to some maybe, not necessarily to me. I happened to scroll to your discussion of employee pay raises. And it was mentioned that Social Security, government, was 2.8%. There was a selectman that proposed a 2.5%, and there was another selectman that proposed a 3%. And in proposing the 3%, which was parallel to the, now these are hourly paid people, not union people that you were discussing. So that selectman, he drew a parallel to the 3% using the justification that it was the police department, which is collective bargaining. And in that, he said, well, if we don't give 3%, if the cops are getting 3% and the hourly people are not getting 3%, it's a slap in the face to them. Okay? Well, I'd like, of course, it's probably already a done deal with you folks, so it doesn't make any difference what I say. The vote was taken for the 3%. Unfortunately, two things. The selectman, who I applaud for making the 2.5%, he abstained, which I thought probably should have been a no, to be sure. And Rick, I didn't go back to look. You may have abstained. I think you did.
I did because I would benefit from it.
Right, yeah, I think so. And that was appropriate. And then there were two other selectmen that approved it. Well, I've been up here before about, probably a tough situation to handle, but, when a selectman has hold of the purse strings and is willing to give some of that, money in the bag in the form of a pay increase, they have family employees. That seems, not quite right to me. But getting back to my point, when the selectman made the comment, slap in the face, all right, it would be interesting to have that person go up to the welfare office when there are welfare people up there and say, yes, I gave that person a 3% increase, all right, because I didn't want to slap them in the face. I need somebody collecting welfare. Somebody, which I think the food pantry is still pretty viable to people. You know, go down, stand in front of the people and tell them, you know, well, I didn't want to slap the employees in the face with anything less than a 3%. All right, see how that goes. And me as a taxpayer, you know, it's not a slap in my face, apparently, or to the many, I mean, there's only 11 or 12 people on the police department that are getting the 3%. But how many people in the town are getting the 2.8%? You know, probably a few more than 11 people, I would guess. So, again, I mean, I'd like to ask you to reconsider that, but probably won't go anywhere. And to dovetail with that, I've tried, I'm not good with numbers. I've tried to understand, and Beth has been patient with me and given me numbers that I've asked for. And this is in regard to the insurance decreases for the town employees. And I will use the word savings, all right? And when somebody is getting a savings, all right, when an employee is getting in savings in the health insurance benefit, all right, that translates into a percentage, all right, more that they're putting in their pocket. Again, I'm not good with numbers. I'm probably not asking for the right numbers. I don't know. So maybe that decrease to somebody, but I do see some of the, well, no, I can't say that either because these are town numbers. So again, but that has to translate into some, whether it's 1%, 2%, 3%, you know, for each of those employees that are receiving a decrease on their 10% of payment. All right. Now you add that on to the 3% that you've given them because you don't want to slap anybody in the face. All right. So what are they getting? Are they getting 4% increase? Are they getting a 5% increase? You know, I dare not go any higher than that, you know, because I don't know the numbers. So they're getting a double whammy, you know, at my expense and every other taxpayer's expense. It's unfortunate that more of the taxpayers don't understand some of this stuff. They don't hear it. They don't care. Maybe they're well off. I don't know, you know, but something's wrong. And I don't know how you board, if you were interested in correcting it, maybe not. But go ask the people that are living off of some type of subsidies. You know, say, well, you know, we had to give the town employees 3%, plus they're getting a percentage of their savings on their insurance. You know, it's certainly a slap in my face. But I'm only Frank Campana, one person, as opposed to how that percentage was determined. And that's all I have, so thank you again.
Anybody else? Public comment? Oh, okay. Department head committee items.
Yeah, actually, he did call me today for
Okay.
cable, and he'd like to have a minute under the department head.
Perfect.
Thanks for the introduction. All I could see was off card, wherever Tonight I'm here representing the cable committee. There's a piece of equipment that's located in that cabinet that's no longer functioning as it should be. As you notice, there are only 4 microphones on the desk. Luckily tonight there's only 4 selectmen. But it's an 8-channel mixer and it's only operating on 5 channels. So if you had a full board, it would still be 4 microphones plus the public microphone. So we need to replace that piece of equipment. And the piece of equipment we're replacing it with is a little bit more of a smart mixer. If the selectmen are nervously tapping their microphones or rattling papers around, it won't pick up that sound. It's basically voice activated, so if the chairman is speaking, then the other microphones are off until you speak loudly. And as long as the microphone is within 12 inches of your face, it should pick up the sound. So that's I have a capital request form filled out. We put $1,600 not to exceed. With the holidays and everything, we just didn't have a lot of time to go in and get a lot of the information. But it's something that's needed.
Now, does that come with all new microphones and everything, too?
Oh, we'll be using those microphones. It's
Okay.
just a mixer.
It's just a
that
mixer
the
itself.
Microphones will be, as far as I know, the microphones are working fine.
Okay.
Although it looks like you're missing.
This one.
some.
Guess that's a sponge.
Are we supposed to sign it?
We will. Entertain a motion? Yes, no, maybe?
I make a motion, we allow the cable committee to take money from the capital expenditure account for not to exceed $1,600 for a new microphone mixer for the conference room.
Is there a second?
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Aye.
Who said that? I'm sorry.
Well, either one of us, whichever you
Yeah, you
choose.
both
won't
said
fight
second,
over
same time.
Thanks to the board. I had one other thing. I was looking through the operating budget. We received copies of the latest operating budget. And I noticed that there's a line there are two lines in the cable committee budget that were reduced. And they're reduced because there were no expenditures previously from that line. There's one for cable supplies, which was $300, and cable equipment for $200. They were reduced respectively to $200 and $100. I'd like to request that we put the cable equipment line back up to $200. As we do more programming, there's more likely that something's going to break or needs to be replaced. And an example of that is we need to replace the cables for the school board on their audio tray. And that's costing us $50. That would be half of our annual budget for that, just for that one purchase. And the capital reserve funds really are not designed for the maintenance items. It's really designed for purchasing of equipment or replacing major pieces of equipment. And for us, that could be over $1,000, or it could be $500. But the $20, $30, $40, $50 items are operating costs. And I'd like to see that put, the $100 put back into that line. In the budget, it's in the cable committee, it's line 623, and would hope you would consider that.
I move that we add the two items, the cable supplies and the cable equipment, back into the budget, one being...
Oh, you did? I don't have the latest
No,
copy.
no, I'm moving it now
Oh,
to do it.
well, yeah, if you could put both of them in, that'd
Right.
give us a little bit more cushion if we have to replace them. We are
Okay.
trying to do more and more programming. We've got a historical piece that we're doing. We're getting back into that. We'll be doing that hopefully monthly. We have some things for the police department that we've been trying to put together, and hopefully we're getting really, really close. And as we go out and do more things, we may see a need for additional pieces of equipment or to have to purchase something, so
Okay.
we'd appreciate that.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Was it only for the cable equipment?
And supplies, right? The 200 and the
Yeah.
100.
Yep.
Oh, is that the line number? It's got 610 and 623 as the
Right.
actual.
Right,
The spreadsheet numbers are 157, 158.
158, yep.
And the other thing I'd like to just briefly mention is that yeah, we're lucky we have a person on the cable committee, Doug Alwine, who's technically capable of fixing just about anything, works with the school to help
Bless you.
repair and correct things over there. And I just want to give you an idea what the cost of that free service is providing to the town. We recently got an invoice erroneously from the Centerwood School, and for some reason they thought we were going to pick it up, but it's nothing to do with TV production. It was for their stage. And I looked at the invoice, and the invoice, I believe, was about $900, higher than that, relatively speaking. The cost of the equipment was $400. To install it was $500. And we haven't incurred any costs from any of the outside vendors for any of that type of service, certainly since Doug has been on the cable committee. So just a word of appreciation and to let the board know that these costs are being kept down because we have a person that's willing and capable of, not only for us, but for the school as well. So, thanks.
Thank you, Doug.
Thank you, Dick. Thank you, Doug.
Thanks, Doug.
All you do. Chief?
Okay.
He's got quotes for flooring for the day room.
What?
He's got two.
Yeah, this is one of those things that the quotes go back to August, that we had looked at was doing some carpet tiles in the day room area where the kitchen table, the dining room table is. The chairs themselves are on wheels, which we had gotten from surplus through the state program, and they just grind every little bit of dirt into the tile. So we looked at what would it cost to do copper tiles. We got two of the three quotes. That was the lowest one being just over $2,000 to do that area. And so we're at that point of the year, and in discussions in the last couple of days, I was reminded of it. So I thought I'd bring it up tonight if that was something that you would entertain at this point, or whether that's something that we should look at through government building fund, or it's just a matter of timing, really.
My feeling would be government building, but that's just my own. My feeling would be government building. That's just my own.
I would think so.
I think it'd come out of government building.
Joe, would you bring a requisition forward? Is that, or,
Yeah, if you could get a third quote.
okay,
Try to get a third quote, and just make sure those are still good if they're from August.
Yep.
And then you can bring it back with a capital reserve form, and we can do it that way.
okay.
Chief Kelly? No? No, I see Benji out there.
No.
Don't blame him. All right, back to the 2019 budget warrant article discussion.
The reason we talked about it
Yep.
briefly, we really, Sherry's not here tonight, so we really, if there's anything you thought we missed, we still have some changes to be made. In light of the last meeting, we accepted the resignation, and then obviously the search for a full-time police officer is going to increase the budget with the retirement costs as well as a family plan for the worst case. So that still has to be done, but we did take out, as you know, some one-time expenses from the last time, and I don't know if you want to talk about the leftover money that we have. Beth and I spent most of today trying to make sure we did not forget anything that's still out there. She went down through, and I think John and I talked earlier, and I gave John a wrong number because we had ordered. I told John that as it sat, we had $75,000 left, but we didn't. At that time, we didn't purchase out the $22,000 that we had for Avatar stuff out there. So at this point, we have $56,088.03 as best we can figure right now, based on taking out estimates for payroll, for holiday pay, which we just did, because the next holiday pay goes into 19. And then the comp payout, for those that don't use their comp time, we have to pay them. That's not a use it or lose it. So that payroll side of it totaled $75,902. And then the contracts that we're waiting on getting final numbers for like phone bills and things like that, we had $18,471. But what we did is we took the one-time lists and we purchase ordered those along with, I think the only one that was probably was the $22,000 for Avatar since then. I will share with you too that we have a couple things. I have a contract for MRI for the police chief search. Hang on. It's here somewhere. And that's a cost of $6,500 total. And that's gonna do the search from top to bottom, as well as it's going to do, they would meet with us, come up with a timeline. We'd come up with an ad. You guys can read it, but it's a total of $6,500. And once we come up with a final candidate, they're going to assist us in the terms and conditions of employment, conditional offer, contract negotiations. But then they will also do a compliant background investigation for the PSTC, which is the Police Standards and Training. It'll be not limited to previous employment, personal history, interviews, verification of education, credit, criminal, motor vehicle checks, psychological, polygraph, fingerprint, and all of that. And the total on that is $6,500. The MRI can do a top to bottom. That I took out of here, but I can always uncancel. And then one other that we have taken out of here is from our IT, Beth's Tyler Technology System is the one that actually first came to light, is her software is, Microsoft has an end of life date as of January 1st of 2020. So what that means is there's an end of life for the Windows 2008 server and Windows 7. And there's 30 of us that run Windows 7. So the Windows 7 we can upgrade to Windows 10. But the two servers, one at the PD and one here, need to be replaced. And they're each $41.76.98. That's been subtracted.
Okay.
So, those are what you didn't know about last time that were here.
So it's 4176?
41 per, so it's 41.76.98 for us, 41.76.98 for the PD.
Okay.
But there was also $5,000 in license to go from 7 to 10 for everybody.
Okay.
So
So what was the final cost on that? 14.
almost, yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
like 8, yeah, it's about
About
14,
14 something.
Yeah.
rounding.
I just don't know that you can go in waiting for 2020. That's
Right.
and to just change the technology or change the server before you have a January 1st, 2020 crash.
Right.
It's kind of pound foolish.
No, I think we need to.
Pennywise and pound foolish.
So, that's where we are.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where we'll stay. It'll probably change and increase, is my guess. Only because for what we've also taken, there's vehicle fuel for $6,000. There's $10,000 in vehicle maintenance, which I can't see happening in the next few weeks. There's also a lot of salt money that you PO'd the other day for him that we anticipate having to use. That may not happen.
Okay.
We were on the high side of things.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
So I think that's where we are. We do have one more thing we have to talk about, and that would be the camera issue. I'm just gonna tell you where I was thinking. We've already spent over $9,000. You're still gonna spend 18, because you got a little over 4,000 for Spalding, and you got 14 for Payson. My suggestion, and you guys can talk about it amongst yourself, is look at the government building fund and then replenish it, because I've got a couple other projects to put back. It's entirely to you guys.
To put back as far
Well,
as.
there's almost $60,000 in paving that I have numbers for, which we can talk about as well, for 2 projects, because we always get, it's like if you don't have a project base, you don't get any money. So there's two from R&D has given us quotes on redoing the town office here, the parking both ends of the town office, and that is $29,714. And then the library town hall out behind there is $31,038.50. Benji got these earlier for me, but there was no way. We even asked to consider doing that this year.
No.
So those are, do you want to put it forward, because the government building and fund, the government building maintenance fund has included pavement in years past. So there's two projects you could target, that's what I'm saying, to putting money back if you want. There's $106,000 in that account now, but largely, you've got $32,000 that's earmarked for your bell tower.
Right.
So
Right.
So that's just where you guys can talk about it. That's what Sean's here for, and I think we really need to decide what you're gonna do with the cameras.
Well, we do, and we left it last week that we were gonna have legal look at.
I know, but she just got back today, so she didn't
Well.
have a chance to.
Okay, well, I mean,
She's been out for 2 weeks of surgery.
and that's fine. My only-
But the other people there couldn't fill in?
The what?
The other people that work there couldn't fill in for her, though?
Well, they're down an employee as well,
Okay.
which we just signed them last week to share the work with somebody else. I don't know that anybody more interested in that, but, I mean, it's entirely up to you. We can wait one more week, but, I'm just saying, my fear is the longer you wait, the longer it's gonna be, technology's gonna be obsolete again. So.
Well, my feeling is if we spend a couple $100 on a legal opinion and it comes back in our favor, then we don't spend 18,000.
Exactly.
So I'm 100%. My own opinion is 100% wait
Right.
for her to reply on that.
Right.
But I don't know what the rest of the
I
board
move-
feels.
Yeah.
I agree, but you get a look on the backside of it that, again, yeah, we can turn around and say, they said they would jump into it and match it. If they say they can't, they're not gonna do it for that price, they get up and walk away, and we're stuck. We're left with basically a pelican around your neck that you can't do anything with. We've already spent so much money. And then what you're gonna do is end up going to court, and you'll probably spend that money plus to go battle it out in court to see whether or not they're gonna honor their contract or not. It's one of those catch-22s again.
But on the other side of it, it's one of them, we put 9 forward, but we're gonna put another
Right.
2 times on top of that again.
And
That's-
you may end up doing that anyway, so I mean, that's the thing.
It sounded to me from the email that Naomi received from them that they said that they would do the work.
Right.
So
For what it is.
It doesn't mean they can't walk away from the contract, that's what I'm saying.
I don't know if it would be that wise for them to walk away from a municipal contract.
They might, I mean,
Well,
you can't tell.
might,
I mean,
right.
You don't know.
they're looking at spending double that out of their own pocket, so I mean, that's one of those things, maybe talk to Laura, or call these people and say, listen, this is the email we got, what's up?
Yeah, well, that's just why I want
But,
Laura to look at it. You know.
Instead, before we get into a situation where saying, no, you're gonna do this or else, it's maybe, there may be a middle ground someplace.
And if there's a middle ground somewhere, it may end up saving us money at the other end of the spectrum,
Yeah.
where she
Right.
might say, "Hey, you guys are kind of held here." I don't know, but I just think that a couple $100
I think we
opinion.
ought to
The ones who are
pursue
gonna
it.
make out, in the long run, sometimes the ones who make all the money in this is gonna be the attorneys.
Well, then that's true too, but to follow up with that, so that is the board want to wait for a legal opinion?
I would, I don't know about
We're gonna meet next Wednesday.
That's
Okay.
fine. We'll-
Right.
we'll
Okay.
meet, but I just want to put it out there, so,
Mm-hmm.
for food for thought.
Not to push you off, but
No.
it's
I think you're going down the right path.
okay. Very hesitant on that MRI. We've been with MRI before, and we didn't have the best of luck. Is there any other game in town? I don't know. I'm just asking.
No. In reality.
And my other question is what does that right there compare to what we put through a frontline officer? Because I'd rather see the frontline officer package done. As far as what Chief Kelly has put in place.
I'm not catching it. So you're not gonna go for a chief of police?
No, we're going for Chief of Police.
Okay.
But but the process that he takes in screening and et cetera,
Oh, I thought it was the same.
if it is the same, then all right, I'm
Pretty much the
good
same.
with that,
They're
but.
gonna do, you have to go through Police Standards and Training Council, which is listed.
Right.
They're gonna go resources through a bunch
Yeah, you
of,
wanna see what he put in there?
Yeah, I mean, there are certain standards that must be met.
they have
Yes.
to be met by
This is
law.
Right.
what they were gonna do for the background.
But the thing is, you know, there's not many other games in town. You can go to the New Hampshire Police Chiefs Association, they've done stuff in the past, and their success rate is about the same, you know.
All right, well,
It's-
I'm just asking the question,
The
that's
bottom
all.
line of it is the last time, you can't blame, and I don't think it's fair to blame some of it on MRI. I think some of it comes back, it's easier to point the finger instead of the thumb, and come back to the board. And they-
Oh, I'm not disagreeing.
And,
I'm just
they're
asking.
basically a very professional organization, and they, you know, a lot of places have done a great job. We've had
Right.
bad luck, but I think
It's simplified in, one paragraph, whereas is a, multi-page
But
policy.
it's the same thing that you do for your officers,
Yeah.
And
all those tests?
the other thing is you're looking at somebody that's already in the law enforcement field, which, when you do somebody that's not, and the chief can tell you that, I mean, when you have a new raw recruit that's never had any law enforcement experience, never worked for another department, whether it be in this state or another state, then you get in depth a little bit more. You go to somebody that's currently working and coming here. You may have better luck, because you've already got somebody that's already in the
Well,
process.
I myself think it should be practiced that whether it's, bottom patrolman or the chief, the process should be the same.
It is the same, but
Well,
what it is
that's-
that it's
just wanna
already
make
out
sure.
there. The information is
Right.
already there. so
And
you
that's
can go
fine.
and
I just wanna
borrow
make
on
sure,
it.
that's
You've got a background that's a lot easier to follow through.
I just want to make sure, because obviously, I mean, I've been around long enough to know we've had our bad cases of police chiefs.
Yeah. Go back.
Not speaking of.
No.
Well, I mean, you can go back over 20 years.
Right,
yeah,
and,
so
and I want to
Yeah,
make
but
sure this
MRI
process
wasn't
is.
doing it 20 years ago.
No, but I want to make sure this
to my
process
knowledge.
MRI's
is.
been around for 20 years.
Yes, they have, but they weren't
They
really
weren't
into
helping
the
us 20 years
police
ago.
No, nobody
departments
hired,
and stuff.
you didn't hire them then, so.
Right, so.
But
Chief, are you familiar with who runs the program at MRI?
Mr.
Looking for the chiefs?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This-
And,
What's described there is what we do for our process, simplified down in a little, a smaller document, but
Okay.
it's-
Okay.
you're gonna
according
get
to
a
what
good
that
product.
says, the one who's gonna do the consultant is Alan Gould, and Alan Gould is the president of MRI.
right.
He's the man in
Okay.
charge, and he's also been, come up through the ranks as a police officer and retired as the police chief in Ryan, New Hampshire, so
Okay. Well,
he's extremely qualified.
I've heard of the name, so
all
I
right.
think they do a lot, don't they? I think he's doing Salem.
a lot more now, yeah.
They've been in
Yeah.
kind of a front page above the fold the last few weeks. They're the ones that are actually executing the terms of the so-called Kroll report that has continued to be interesting for Salem. So
Yeah.
if that's any kind of endorsement,
Yeah.
Okay.
they're the ones that the state of New Hampshire is relying on. to
Okay.
execute that.
Okay.
I just want to make sure, like
And
you
you're
said.
gonna, and just let me share, I mean, we're gonna sit down, he's gonna sit down with
Right.
us for us to develop this ideal candidate profile and challenge statement. So he's looking to work whatever we want. He's gonna sit through and do this.
Okay.
I'm just
What do you
saying,
want?
it's not that he's gonna go off and find somebody.
Mhm.
You're gonna be, I
Can't
think.
be said on the
I think
microphone.
this- I think this kind of tells you that he's gonna be involved along the way with you.
That's fine.
Because he's gonna take the,
Okay.
if you look, it's schedule and facilitate a face-to-face interview with 3 to 6 finalists with the board.
Okay.
So you're gonna see 3 to 6 finalists.
Okay.
And you can, so I don't know if you wanna,
Entertain a motion.
Make a motion that we contract with Municipal Resources Incorporated for a professional services agreement for searching for a new police chief. It's a contract with them. Terms of it would be for $6,500.
I'll
Is there a
second the
second?
motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Jan?
John? John or Jan?
As I
What?
say, I can never determine. I rotate with one of the other.
Just put a J down. There's three of them here.
Yeah, just put a J.
There's three of them here.
Page
So
go.
there's.
Pick a card, any card.
Signature pages.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pages or page?
Page.
There's a second page for,
That's just somebody to initial, so it'll probably
that's somebody would be the chair.
would be the chair.
Yeah, great.
So I'm not sure what more you wanted
Initial
to
aid
do.
for client.
What more you wanted to do under the budgets or, because
Um,
we are gonna be January 2nd,
mhm.
which we can address the tenant issue. Beth will have full numbers. I know it was mentioned earlier about the default versus proposed. I mean, if that's what you wanna see, it would be January 2nd, but, we are gonna have to make a change to the police department budget based on the, information on the retirement as well as the package for insurance.
Okay. Well, we can wait. I'm just thinking if, I didn't know how much we were gonna have as far as, and the reason I kinda wanted to bring it back up again was the, with the unexpended fund balance, to see if,
You can bring that up Wednesday.
funding the cruiser was viable, and definitely funding, the partial of, Chief Azina's car was possible.
You might have a better idea, because this week's payroll would cover last Friday.
Okay.
I think Benji's guys were out a little bit on Friday because of.
But not a whole lot,
holidays.
yeah.
And then they weren't out at all over this long weekend, and then they may be out again this Friday. So she might have
Monday to
somewhat of an
Friday,
idea, yeah.
Well, we'll know better January 2nd then. That, I just don't want it to go fall on
You'd have
deaf
a
ears,
better
that's
idea, because I don't think we've even checked where revenues are.
all. Okay.
You know, we have
Yep,
to talk
that's
about
fine.
revenues.
All right, well, we can put that off till the 2nd then.
With
Okay.
that being said, that's all you're gonna do for budget warrant article discussion for 18 and 19.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, gentlemen. Thank you for your
I know this is very captivating.
What's that?
What's that?
We're gonna approve some meeting minutes
No, we
and-
don't.
No?
that we don't have. And then we're gonna give some money away, so everybody gets paid. And
Manifest, yeah.
Yeah,
we're gonna talk about some more stuff, and we're gonna leave.
that's right.
Don't rush into these things. We're gonna table a meeting minutes. How's that sound? Okay, good.
Good.
Yeah, since we don't have
Second,
any
third,
kind
fourth,
of-
all of them.
Chief?
Let's talk about the manifest. Oh,
Uh-oh, that's
Uh-oh.
on TV. I'm just kidding.
that's fine. Just do it.
I think it's lost.
Is that the payoff of speeding ticket?
Kidding. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Downward face, downward face,
All
Get
right.
paid. See you, Chief.
Hey, chief.
Where did I put the, there it is. Huh?
Manifest?
I got it right here in my hand. I'm ready to say it. Let's sing a tune, here I come. I order the treasurer to sign the accounts payable checks dated December 27th, 2018, and January 1st, 2019, as included in the following manifest. $80,415.24 for dates, for checks dated 12/27 of 18 for the 2018 accounts payable, and the 2019 accounts payable to be $226,652.59. And the following manifests were previously ordered to be signed on December 17th, 2018 meeting of the Weare Board of Selectmen for a payroll manifest of $65,507.76 for weekly, monthly, and stipend payroll checks dated 12/27/18. As there is no Selectmen's meeting scheduled for December 31st, 2018, I further order the treasurer to sign payroll checks dated January 3rd, 2019, estimated to be about $70,000, and furthermore order the treasurer to sign up to the amount of $60,000 for accounts payable that need to be processed prior to the next scheduled meeting of January 2nd, 2019. Reports and actual check amounts will be reported to the Board of Selectmen by inclusion on the manifest memo at the January 2nd, 2019 meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank God. All in favor? Aye.
Aye. You,
Huh?
you have a breath, need oxygen?
Before I get started, I have, one is a repurchase of a piece of property on River Road.
Oh,
Okay.
This is one Laura got back to me, 1163 River Road.
okay.
So it needs your signatures on page 2. This is, you signed the fire department lease, but not the police department lease for dispatch.
Okay.
So that's on,
That's fine.
that's on the
Thank-
last page is page 4, and then it has to go to the office down for the same.
Cups and strings.
This is our contract, which stayed the same for our internet provider, or our, your name is now with an E. Frederick.
Oh, thank you. Make sure it's right.
It's not Frederick.
No,
He's from there.
it's not Frederick, it's Frederick.
So those I'm gonna just.
So what do we
set
sign?
down
Does
On the
the-
very back page, you're the selectmen and Weare.
It says witness, okay.
Well,
Okay, so it's down there. We're witnessing what?
Oh, got it. Okay.
One of them anyways.
Yeah.
yeah, the other is gonna come harder.
Of course it is.
I'll start one quickly because I didn't put it on here. I got an email from the library trustees,
Yes.
Brenda Cannon, and right now at their last meeting, they selected Mark Carey, who was an alternate, to be the acting chair until March of 2019. She just asked that I make you aware of it.
Thank you.
Because
I
he
have
is
no idea
part of
who
it,
he
but
is.
he's gonna be the acting chair. And then it'll have to go back on the ballot. I don't know if it'll be 1 or 2, because if he had an unexpired term, you'll see 2 positions.
Yeah, one have to be
on there.
filled, one have to be,
Yeah,
yep.
you'll see 2 positions on there. So the government building sheet that I gave you, the only real thing, they were able to successfully install the whistle on the tank. which
They
was-
were?
Yeah.
Great.
So
Ooh.
that
It's
was-
after all of
So
that.
after all of that,
Yeah.
yes, and the boys covered it back up in nice warm weather. there.
Oh, beautiful.
So, and it's been, they came and
This one?
filled it, and I guess it worked, so we're
I'm
good
gonna,
to go.
so it
So,
took some more.
it did,
So we get heat for another year?
Right, but we can talk about doing that, like you said earlier.
Yeah.
And that's really the only thing I had changed on there. On the other report, I just added a few things, just as reminders for you guys.
Just one thing on this.
Yeah.
We have to make a motion to have him
Oh,
sign
I'm
it.
sorry, yes, thank you. I know we talked about his name several times.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Make a motion that we allow the chairman of the Board of Selectmen to sign the safety net service contract with Spalding Hill Networks for another year.
Is there a second?
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Abstain?
Signing.
That's right. Like, that,
So
Hey,
we're
look at
gonna-
that. My name's
We'll go
right.
to the next one. If you look from the, under SEDS, what I did is I gave you the board's schedule meeting for the January, just because you actually have an extra one in there, because of Wednesday. So you're gonna meet Wednesday, and then you're gonna meet Monday, okay? The public hearing for the budget warrant articles, I think you all got a copy of the public notice.
Yep.
It's gonna be the 14th at 6:45. We're gonna start out with the bond first, and then followed by the rest of the articles. So between the 2nd and the 7th, we'll finalize all that as well. The finance committee meeting, they are meeting for the town part of it. The schedule's as follows: Thursday, January 3rd at 6, they're gonna meet with fire, and the rest of, I guess, the school has some things they're gonna bring back. And it's all gonna be in this room right here on TV. Tuesday, January 8th, it's gonna be at 6:30, and that's gonna be us, our town budgets and things like that. And then Thursday, the 10th, at 6:30, she wants to do the police and DPW. I'm not sure why the pecking order was that way, but that's what I was shared.
Okay.
So, and then for those, the food pantry, we gave out 48 baskets for Christmas.
Wow.
And in the basket was a little flyer to tell you that it's gonna be opening starting January 2nd, and it gave the hours. We'll put those on the website as too. The hours are gonna be Mondays and Wednesdays from 7:30 to 10:30 in the morning, and from 4:30 to 7, both days. There is a phone number, it's 529-2470, and there's also an email, so if you needed something or suggested something, it's foodpantry@weare.nh.gov. So then you see my schedule above. Basically, it's just, we
Friday.
have our annual for Friday, and then Monday's a regular day for the town office till 4:30, and then we're closed Tuesday, and then Wednesday we're back at normal times and hours.
Sure.
Now, is Melissa doing all of this?
She's got a list of volunteers.
Oh, she does,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Once, we get everything up and going, there's gonna be, I think, some suggestions because of what we might be missing that
Mhm.
people need. We just put out what there was there.
Okay.
So there are some things, some suggestions, and there's a expired table kind of out front. There's a
Mhm.
bulletin board she's gonna hang things on. It's really taking shape down there pretty nicely. But yeah,
So have we figured out how we're going to accept?
we're working on that. Tom Donovan from Charitable Trust sent me an email, but it's not what he talked to me on the phone, so I sent one back. It talked about unanticipated money, and I don't want to put it in our funds.
No.
No.
So that's why I replied back and I said, I thought we talked about the
A trust fund.
trustees making an expendable trust.
Mhm.
So I haven't heard back. But
Okay.
it was about unanticipated money, and
If
I'm
you
like,
put
yeah.
that, if you put that in there, then it's,
It goes in the black hole.
you'll
Right.
never see it
Well,
from the
right,
food
and that's
pantry.
not what we were after, because there
Mm-mm.
is going to be a check from the quilt raffle. It's going
Has
to
to
be
go
upwards
Right.
of over $900.
Right.
Mhm.
And the problem I'm struggling with is, can you put it in I'd say an account? And could there be, because I don't know how you draw checks, you know what I mean?
Well, you can,
I gotta just talk to
Yeah.
Linda. Linda's gone too, Linda Fiala.
yeah,
So,
or Terry.
yeah, because there's gotta be some checking and some,
Right.
it just.
That's what I was wondering, if there's
Yeah,
like
I
a
knew we
checking
could take
account set up
unanticipated
or,
money, it happens.
yeah,
But I just thought that was just not the avenue we talked about.
No.
We'd have to have anytime we took money in, you'd have to have a meeting, you'd have to bring it up at a meeting and have us
I know.
have a vote
Every
to turn
check,
around and
yeah.
every check and have it like a
And
donation.
that's not really, I wanted it to kind of be overseen by the trustees, is what I really wanted to do, but,
Yeah,
and that's what we talked
the
about on the
accounting would
phone,
be
but that's
better.
really not the email that came out.
okay.
It came out about the unanticipated funds.
Hmm.
But, so that's still a work in progress. Right now, we've just got them locked up. We haven't done anything with checks. I don't know if any of you thought about a rep. Okay, I didn't think so. And then, could I just have non-public at the end?
Mhm.
Some information under A and C.
A and C.
Catch you up on a few things.
Correspondence, other business. Board members?
No?
I don't remember getting any this week.
Yay.
Well, it's just, like today, I thought it was Monday.
Oh, yeah, this is
It's
the
just
most
such a
Monday,
mess.
Wednesday
I
I've
was
ever
thinking
seen.
it was Monday too, and I wonder, why is
Yeah, I thought
everybody
Thursday
still
when I
in the
first woke
building
up.
with me?
I forgot I was at a meeting.
I thought it was Monday, and then I'm going, oh, no, it isn't, it's Tuesday.
I keep saying, oh,
Oh,
I talked to
Wednesday.
you on Friday, and it was Monday.
Yeah.
Take a
Fail.
Monday off about it.
Yeah. All right, well,
Actually, I do probably have something in correspondence. We haven't ironed this out yet. Benji talked to me at the end. There's some sort of, I don't say if it's chemical, there's some sort of spill on Bogue Road, and DES and Benji were out there today. I'm not sure what it is, but it's going to be cleaned up.
no, I'm sure.
And if there's no
Owner.
person that's responsible, we're gonna end up paying the bill,
Hmm.
clean it up. So on the state website, there's two hazardous waste chemical spills, people that you can call. One is Clean
Clean
Harbors,
Harbors.
Mhm.
but Clean Harbors, we know, and I'm not speaking ill, how long did it take to get a date or two?
Yep.
The other one is an AccuWorks in Barry, Vermont.
Yep.
So I just want to, I printed these off so that Benji could have them, because there was two on the state bid list, so he'll have to get a price. And he's supposed to be working with DES to see where it goes, but I'm not sure.
Do we know what the substance is?
I don't know, I think there's some finger pointing. It looks, somebody blamed the pavement people, but I really don't know. It doesn't look like oil. I don't know what it is.
Hmm.
Because they put down a mat, the fire department put down a mat, and it absorbed a little bit, but it didn't absorb it. I don't know if it's hard, I don't really know what it looks like, to be honest. I haven't seen pictures.
I know Benji told me that it was like, it's almost like a rubbery compound. It's not
Okay.
really liquefied, and it's not leaving any sheen on anywhere, so there's no,
Just
so they don't-
scoop her up and go.
yep, they don't know. So that's what basically what we're looking at.
How much material are we talking here? fill a one-ton
honestly
dump
don't
truck,
know.
or?
No, I think it's more of a six-wheel load, maybe.
Yeah,
No.
but it'd be.
But I think it only showed up Saturday or Sunday, and I don't know.
Yeah, it showed up
where.
last Friday or Saturday or something,
Yeah,
but
it
it's
showed
like, and it, you know, he even said it doesn't look like it came from the paving or anything, Bogue Road, you know.
But it was paved a while ago, we would have seen it by then.
Yeah,
wouldn't we?
well, yeah, you see
Yeah.
it immediately. So,
I don't know.
but Bogue Road wasn't paved.
So just if you hear or ask somebody
Okay.
will ask you if you heard about the cleanup, there's, we
Okay,
don't know what it is, but Benji's working with DES and honestly with the fire chief. So
okay.
we'll get to the bottom of it soon.
That bottom of it, that's what I like to hear. No pun intended, get to the bottom of it. Anything else? No, maybe? Okay, move going non-public under RSA 91A3, Roman numeral 2, A and C.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We'll be adjourning afterwards.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Thank you, everyone.